Whoa, 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 whoa. Welcome to another episode of the Taylor Complaints Comedy Podcast. Me, your host, Taylor Perez. This is episode number 98, 97, 98, 97, 90. I don't know. Who cares? Who cares? We're going to war. We're going to war. I think. I don't know. I think. Here's the deal. It's going to be a multi-layered statement. And I'm finally going to make it clear how I feel about Israel, Gaza. All right. I'm going to make it very clear for you. You got to blow them both up. You got to blow them both, like to the point where they're not even on the map anymore. And here's why. Here's why. I look at pictures of Israel starving Palestinians. That's sad. Obviously, that's sad. It sucks. It's not good. You want to know what diet they're on because you could lose a couple. But at the same time, you're like, they're not even original. You look at the kids in Uganda, they can't lose weight the correct way. They got the skinny bodies and then the belly on them, distended, obviously, but still, if it looks like fat, it's fat. So get back to work, Ugandan kids. I we do look at this multifaceted issue as there's a non-linear solution and there's a non-linear way to accept it. You got people flooding out of, and I know I'm late on this, but this is all going to correlate to the Scream Boycott, which I think you were all retarded for taking part in. But be that as it may, let me continue meandering down this road of nonsensical stupidness. Hold on. You got Israel, you got Gaza, right? You got photos on the internet of Palestinians, like, you know what I mean? Like running outside of a burning church holding their kids, and their kids don't have heads. And you're like, well, see, that's how you lose weight. And their kid, they're running outside their kid. It's sad. It's all sad. There's lots of emotions. We all have lots of emotions. We're human beings. We don't like to see other human beings suffer. But I'm seeing pictures of shitty things being done on both sides. You know what I mean? I spent the last 6 months seeing and if you don't take a stand, you're a piece of shit and whatever. Here's what I think: blow them both up, blow them both up. Let's listen. You sign the war papers, you send the nukes, you blow them both up. Because no, there's no winners here. You got mass starvation. You got hospitals being bombed. Like they're not going to stop. It's like who's got the more emotionally crippling low blow to the other side that they can propagandize to you people so that you have a visceral reaction on the internet and demand justice because you fucking dumb nerds get on the internet and you demand justice. I don't understand what good can come of that. And this leads me to the Scream 7 boycott. You guys don't want to go see Scream 7 because my Mexican sister, Melissa Barrero, was fired for having, opinions about the Israel Gaza thing. And they didn't align, or they made the studio look bad in their interpretation from what they read, from the rhetoric that they took. I I have no obviously, I don't think you should be fired for an opinion. But when you represent a company, when a company hires you, you're pretty much their representative while you're under their employment. So, you know what I mean? The NFL players, Ray Rice punches his girlfriend in an elevator, gets caught on video, they let him go. I think they suspended him. I don't know. There's always repercussions when you have a big contract and there's things going on in the back behind it. Your actions affect other people's workday. So I'm sorry. There's little pauses. Your boy's gotta, you know what I mean? Snorty. Um, you don't deserve to hear that. She shouldn't have been fired, right? You're allowed to have an opinion, especially about something as layered as this, something that's like got people's emotions in a tiff. So Melissa Barrera gets fired, and then Jenna Ortega quits, and then the director drops out, and now Scream 7 is here, and we have Neve Campbell, and we have all Matthew Lillard, and all these people are signing on, and everyone's mad because they're like, "You don't support Melissa Barrera." Here's the deal. Here's what you fucking dumb idiot nerds need to grasp. And for those of you who do feel alienated listening to this, you're like, "Well, I liked you, and you're sharing your opinion." Go fuck yourself. There you go. Hey, we figured that out quick, didn't we? Because I don't give a shit. about anybody but myself and my stupid opinions. And I don't cater to your opinions. Here's the deal. You listen to me until I say something that you don't agree with, and then you go listen to someone else. That's just, you know what I mean? Or, or you fight that urge to go listen to someone else and you stay here because you realize that we always don't have to agree. We always don't have to agree. God forbid we don't always have to agree. And, that's the case sometimes. There are moral issues, you know what I mean? If you were like, yeah, let Israel and Gaza fucking fight. Obviously, I'm not going to pick a side. I've seen horrible fucking pictures from either or. It seems like Palestine is getting the shit end of the stick, so I would be more inclined to side with them. Who's got the better food is what I want to know. Whose hummus tastes better? Where's Sabra come from? That's who I'm backing. I'm a Sabra man. Give me that spicy fucking hum. I'll put my cock in it, dude. Um, I'm sorry, that got really weird, and I apologize. I apologize. Um, eh, so everybody's boycotting Scream. I'm not going to go see it. There's influencers like you shouldn't go see this movie because it's listen, you fucking nerd. Let me back this up real quick for you. Come here. Do you know how many people work on a movie? I'll give you I'll give you a couple guesses. And yes, I know they're all paid for. It doesn't matter. We're not affecting their pockets. Do you think that boycotting something and turning it into a failure would affect their resume to get future work? Do you think the lighting guy who lit this movie for 2 years or however long it took to get shot, do you think he wants his work to be a failure because one chick got fired and then a couple left and now people are boycotting it? Think about that. You think I just it doesn't make any sense to me. The editor, the grip, the audio people, the executive producers, the producers, you know what I mean? So you don't like the director, you don't like Neve Campbell because she's playing with blood money. If it wasn't for Melissa Barrera being gone, there wouldn't be a Neve Campbell. I don't know. Who cares? This is a legacy. This is something that so I'm firing shots on all ends. I'm being diplomatic here. The people that like Scream are retarded. And here's how I know that. This is the seventh episode. This is the eighth entry into the franchise if you count the series that came out. I'm not watching them. I don't, you know what I mean? I Scream 6 was it. I'm never watching another one again. I'm never going to go back and watch them again. I think they're stupid. I think the only people that like Scream are ladies who just want a guy to break into their house with the ghost face mask on, you know what I mean? With no shirt, he's got abs, but then it doesn't matter if you're ugly or not because all the lady wants to see is the ghost face mask. I don't know where that came from. I don't know how we got here, but I digress. I just think your outrage is fake. I really do. This is the Fast and the Furious of horror. There's 8 entries into the franchise. You don't need any more. There's cash grabs. They're bringing back legacy characters now. And I know what you did last summer did that first. They did that before Scream did. Maybe Scream did it before and the nerds. I don't I don't know. I just think it's dumb. I think the movies are dumb. I think it takes a dumb person to sit there. But it's the same thing with Fast and the Furious. I think you people are retarded too. It's not just this franchise. If you're still going to see a movie, Saw, I guess Saw. You could argue Saw, but Saw was stupid the entire time. We just watched it for the traps. You know what I mean? You guys are into the story. You're like, who could be the killer at the end of this one? It's a 16-year-old boy. How is a 16-year-old boy killing athletic black people in the middle of the movie? That's what I want to know because there's characters of all credences in these movies, and if it's a 16-year-old boy that's the killer at the end who finally gets unmasked, how is he killing black athletes? Which brings me to my very next sensitive subject. A man with Tourette's said the N-word while Michael B. Jordan was accepting an award at the BAFTAs. I don't even know what BAFTA stands for. Award shows are stupid. They're dumb. We should not have them. They are, I don't know. People who win awards don't win them because of talent. They win because of like money backing and what is that? What is that? Not proselytizing. It's like campaigning. They win because they have good campaigns. They go on the right talk shows. Go fuck yourself with these award shows. All right. A movie's good whether it wins awards or not. I've seen so many other movies that are good that won awards. Sinners was a great movie. Ryan Coogler deserves all the accolades that he gets because he built such an amazing world with such amazing characters. The movie just had annoying dancing white vampires, and I did not like that part of it. I didn't like it. But I liked the rest of the movie. I liked that the jazz references and like the Louisiana Bayou Ghost voodoo shit that was in there. I thought that was awesome. I just don't, you know, I can't do white dancing jig vampires. You know what I mean? I'm half Irish, half Mexican. That shit fucking annoys the shit out of me. I can't even. It's my own culture. I don't even like it. I guess a guy with Tourette's is in the audience. He was I forget what his name was, but there was a an award, not an award, but he was in a movie. There was a movie based on his life, and he had Tourette's, and he struggled with Tourette's. He said the N word. Well, Michael B. Jordan was on stage, and everybody apologized for the man. They were like, "Hey, we're very sorry. He has Tourette's. Let's try to understand Tourette's, what it is. These are tics. They're involuntary. Obviously, not this guy's fault. It's not this guy's fault. Not the Tourette's guy's fault." But now we got other people that are like, "Hey, you should apologize to the black people for the N word." No, you shouldn't. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. And I know it's a controversial take. I'm gonna let it sit with you for a second because you should be upset. This should upset you. I'm gonna say something that's gonna upset you right now, but we're gonna move past it together because we control our reactions to these stupid words. The N word is a word that people use no matter if you like it or not. And it shouldn't be used. It sucks. Have you ever seen the expression on a black person's face when somebody calls them the N word? It's horrifying. It feels terrible. There's weight to it and it's gross. But it doesn't always have to be that way. I'm not saying go say it. I'm just saying these words only have as much power as we give them. You know what I mean? Obviously, this word has historic value, it has historic weight to it, but who cares? What if we just, you know what I mean? Oh, whatever. If somebody says the N word, we're just, oh, that's just not a person that we talk to. You know what I mean? We don't talk to that guy. Whatever. That's fine. Yeah, whatever. We make this grand spectacle about it. And we bring out the bells and we bring out the whistles, and I think it just brings other people to say it. Oh, he got attention saying it. I want to say it. Let's stop rewarding that word with so much shit. I mean, even if you condemn it, there's still 900 people. I mean, I'm making a podcast about it right now. So we're giving this word attention, this horrible, disgusting word. I don't support the word at all. I support the narrative that we give it and the weight that we give it. Why are we still reacting to this the same way we reacted to it in the 90s? Like, we should just be, oh, he said, oh, yeah, that guy says the N word. I don't fuck with that guy. That's it. And then we go do other things. We magnify our attention at positive things in our community. You know what I mean? Obviously, it doesn't matter what color anybody is, right? Like that doesn't matter now. Listen, it used to be a thing. It's not a thing. Civil War days, they're done. Obviously, racism still exists, but you're not going to get rid of it. Here's the thing that you're not gonna like. You're never gonna get rid of it. Just like when I look down to pee and you know what I mean? When I get jacked off and a lady uses two fingers, it's the most insulting thing that I've ever had happen to me as an adult because I would like to think I'm a two-hand man. I would like to think that, but I'm not. That's just something I have to accept. I'm not a two-hand man. Sometimes girls, they whack me off with their fingers, and it makes me sad. That's the reality of my situation. I don't even know what the fuck I was just talking. Oh, yeah. Racists exist, and you're never going to get rid of them. You know what we could do that we learned back in the days? We can ignore them. Unless they physically infringe on a person of color, then we step in, we help them. Okay? We always step in and help marginalized communities, the smaller community, you know what I mean? Help. We're here to help, especially people that exist as a majority. I'm half Mexican, half Irish. White people, obviously majority. Hispanic, obviously majority. Like there's a lot of Hispanics, a lot of white people. So we should be helping other people, Asians, but Polynesians. We should be helping and not supporting obvious. Wait, hold on. Calling regards to your recent. Oh, I'm getting scammed. They're trying to scam me. One of my coworkers got scammed. That was really funny. Somebody got 7 grand out of my coworker, but he's trying to date 18-year-olds. So someone deserved it. But yeah, anyway, moving past this shit, the N word only has as much power as you give it. I know, listen, I know when you hear it, it's hurtful, and you think about fucking back when you wouldn't even own slaves back in the day. Only rich people own slaves. Let me just give it to you that. Only rich people own slaves. I couldn't, you know what? Even if I wanted to, I would want child labor is what I would want. I would want these kids. I would want to buy and sell kids, but not weird, not weird, not the weird kind, like for labor, like iPhones. You know what I mean? They're the only ones with hands small enough to, that's it. I'm not, that's what I would do. Sheetrock workers, coal miners, we would teach them young and they would be buff kids. Like they would be very buff, ripped children, little Hercules-esque children. I know this got really weird. I'm not the Epstein kind of kid labor. Those kids were doing massages and beat offs, and I don't want that. I don't even, you know what I mean? I'm having enough trouble with my sex drive as it is. There's no way a kid's getting me going. I Here's the deal. Let me tell you this. I'm 39 years old. I think that my boners aren't as hard as they used to be. You know what I mean? Only in the last like 6 weeks. Only in the last like this year. Only this 2026. You know what I mean? The boners are still there. They're still, you know what I mean? But like not a full just it's how do I explain this? It's we're working with like 85 to 80% at all times. I've seen it at 100, but not very often. And I don't know if we have low T. Here's the first thing I'm gonna try to do. Work out more. I've been working out. I didn't say it the last podcast because then I usually fuck it up and then I relapse. I relapse. I do the thing where like I'll have a couple beers and I'll be like, oh, I could have a cheeseburger. And then the next day I'm like, well, I have a fucking cheeseburger yesterday. And this is the downfall of my life. I always justify the next bad decision with the last bad decision that I made, and then they correlate together and exist in this vacuum of bad decisions. I don't like it. It is what it is. You don't fuck. I hate how good food is. I don't have a drug problem. I have a food problem, and I know I have a food problem, and I hate it. I just, you know, I want the burrito. I want the Crunch Wrap Supreme. Do I want pasta? Fuck yeah, I do. But pasta makes me feel like shit. Um, but I'm ugly, so I can't be fat too. I'm working out after this. I'm doing the kettlebell. I'm on creatine. We're on creatine, 5 milligrams a day. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I'm trying to the chest is the thing that bothers me as I carry my weight in my chest and in my belly. So I don't have any like when I gain weight, I don't gain weight in my arms. I just get this weird Mr. Burns-esque physique. You know what I mean? Like a Uganda child. I look at my belly and I'm like, Uganda, be kidding me? This fuck, that was a Chelsea Handler special name. Of course, I stole it, but then I gave it back. I gave it back. You gave credit for it. Um, I watched. There's a new Resident Evil game coming out on Friday, and don't talk to me. Don't call me. Definitely don't call me. I'll never answer. I don't think I've answered a phone call in like. I think the last phone call I answered was from Caitlin, and that was like 3 weeks ago. I will not answer a phone call. Don't ever call me. New Resident Evil game comes out. I have it off. I watched a movie called Snowtown, and I don't understand. Here's the deal. Snowtown is a movie based on serial. Snowtown is a movie based on a serial killer from Australia in Adelaide, the suburbs of Adelaide. This guy, he would find PDF files and like just torture them in the bathroom. And that sounds great on paper. It really, really does. It sounds great on paper, but this dude had issues. You want to like him. You really do. You want to like him. And we're going through the movie, And I don't understand why it has to show why the PDF files deserve the treatment that they get. Again, I don't want to watch the treatment that they get, but I also, even more so, don't want to watch the PDF files engaging. Like, let me give you an example because you want one so badly. There's a kid. All right, granted, he was asking for it. He was wearing some short. There's a kid, and he's wrestling with his brother, and then his brother takes his pants down, and then just starts. I for 2.5 minutes, and I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it. I feel like a broken record because I talk about this every time I see a movie like that. I'm just always shocked. I'm always shocked that like a director was like, "All right, yeah, can you cry a little bit? Could you cry? Tom, can you thrust a little hard? Okay, okay, let me see your cum face. How how are we doing this? How are you directing this? Are there no standards and practices in Hollywood where you could just fucking make whatever movie you want and put these fucking I know they're not actually kids. They're like 18-year-old actors or whatever. They just look young. But still, dude, you when you sell a movie, you're trying to convince people that you're living in the time or the place that this happened. I was sold. I was sold. I thought that that was a older kid but fucking a younger kid, and I did not like that. Oh, but they catch that older kid. He's the brother of the kid that he's butt fucking, and just the way that they dispose of him, where they choke him in the bathroom with a chain, and they let him go. They choke him, they let him go, and just until his whole face just is like now there's blood coming out of his eyes, and dude, it was one of the roughest couple scenes in a movie that I've ever seen. And I've seen movies where this stuff is depicted. Like there's a movie called Killing Ground. It's on Tubi. It's about this couple. They go camping. They see an abandoned tent, but they don't know it's abandoned. And then they find a kid in the woods, and then like stuff happens to the kid, but you never see it. Stuff happens to a lady in the movie, but you never see it. There's always the implication of, which gives you enough to hate the antagonist of the movie because of what was implied that he did to the lady, but it doesn't show it. It I'm not I'm not being forced to watch a woman cry in real time while fat guy's behind. It's always a fat guy. Well, a fat guy's behind her. I don't know. How many times do we have to talk about this? Why are these scenes in movies? Why is this a thing? I was at work and a guy touched me. That sounds horrible. Hold on. I was at work the other day and I was waiting on the table and this guy was walking around with his kid. His kid was autistic. Nothing, sweet kid, super sweet. But I think the guy thought that his kid being autistic was like a selling point for stuff because he'd be like, hey, I'd be like, hey, do you want to be seated? He's like, my kid's autistic. We're like, okay, give me a second and we'll seat you. There's just a couple people in front of you. They're like, my kid's autistic. So they just sat him in my section because his kid's autistic. They're like, oh, we're gonna Taylor, and now there's two people in your section that are autistic, you and this fucking kid. Um, so this kid, you know what I mean? He's ticking out, and we're trying to, accommodate the best we can, and everything's going well. And and this guy like fucking, he grabs me by the shoulder, and I'm like, yo, dude, don't touch me. He's like, hey, my kid's autistic. I'm like, I don't, dude, don't ever touch me. Do you understand me? Don't ever touch me. So he says, get out of my face. And I say, gladly. So we had to get a manager involved. And I was like, yo, man, everything was fine. And this dude just fucking grabbed me. Like, I don't understand. And he's like, my kid's autistic. You have bad genetics. That, your kid's autistic because you fucked a garbage can. And now your kid, now you got that. Now you got that. Now you got pinball child. There's nothing wrong with these autistic children. They just end up with the shittiest fucking parents I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know how this always happens. I really don't. Uh, we have, we have kids that come in, it's a I don't know that I want to make sure that I use the right terminology for this because dude, I love kids on the spectrum. I love kids with autism. They're fun. They're sweet. They're the happiest kids you've ever met. But it's always the people that they're with that just fucking suck ass. It's like What, did this kid beat you off and not finish, and you're just walking around with a full load? Like, why are you mad all the time, dude? Here, uh, these kids come on like Wednesdays. Their bus, they get dropped off with like a handler, and they all sit at a table and they eat together, and it's the sweetest thing ever. And I've waited on them a couple times, and they're super sweet. And every time I wait on them, they fuck the handlers just. I don't know. What do you want? What do you want? No cheese. The pasta has to be with butter. There can't be anything. I'm like, dude, do you hate these kids? I worry about these kids. I see the same ones every Wednesday, but I worry about like one day, fucking, we're not gonna see one of these Mongos. We're not gonna see. You know what I mean? Like you're just, yeah. Stacy had it, and she choked one of them to death. She made an example. She made an example of one of them. She strangled him, and while the kid was laying on the floor with his tongue out, we just thought he was taking a nap because that's what he looks like when he takes a nap. That's what he looks like when he takes a nap. There's nothing cornier than somebody who laughs at their own jokes, but I have fun. This is my show. This is my show. I can do whatever I want on my show. You know? We don't like the N word unless you stub your toe. If you stub your toe and you fucking look at you know what I mean? I have no problem with that. Just don't call it. Just don't say it to another person. You know what I mean? Don't fucking weaponize it to hurt someone's feelings. Okay? I get when things are forbidden, we want access to them. We want access to forbidden things. I mean, our whole entire life, if you believe in this dumb Jesus shit, Adam and Eve. Eve ate the fruit because the snake told her to. And then she got Adam to do it because her titties were out. That's what I do think it's women's fault for everything bad in the world because Eve ate the fucking fruit and then walked over to Adam all naked and she was like, "Hey Adam, I know I have a disgusting stinky bush, but I still have my boobs out. Would you like this apple?" And then there's a fucking snake like, "Eat the apple." You know what I mean? I think Adam was like, "She's gonna fuck me with this snake. If I don't eat this apple, I gotta." Women's fault. Women's I didn't write the story. I'm just interpreting it, and in the same way that it's being told to you, but in a more verbose way. So, oh man, oh I got a booger. I got a booger. All right, gym, but then the fall off and fat. We already talked about that. We had, you know what I mean. We already talked about that. We've been talking for a little while. We might. Is it time to end? Dude, we had a lot to talk about today. You know what? I gotta look at the news cycles and what's worth talking to you guys about because I like being current with things, but I have to find a way to make them funny. Usually, I just write what is currently going on, and in real time, I make it funny, or I attempt, depending on what your sense of humor is, because you could be watching this right now, horrified, like he made fun of Uganda. He said the N word was okay. If you stub your toe, we're not weaponizing that word to hurt other people's feelings. He called special ed kids mongos. Mango. They like mangoes, is what I said, not mongo. I might have said mongo. I really might have. You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You turn on a podcast. Every podcast is the same. What am I just gonna do a horror podcast? No. I already watch horror movies every day and review them for you. You think I'm gonna come on here? I'm gonna come on here and talk about other stuff, dude. We're gonna get Tim Dillany, except he's more educated and vernacularly expansive than me. I am for dumb people. Like the president. Love is Blind. I just watched season 8, which is Denver, right? This guy named Patrick. Here's the deal, dude. I saw this coming a mile away. This guy named Patrick, he's very, very insecure about being Asian, even though he says 100 times that he's not. He's with this chick named Casey, right? But Casey is the daughter of Margot Robbie, or she could be. She looked, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna date her because I don't want to deal with that headache. It's a stereotype, but the hotter the person you date, the bigger the headache. You know what I mean? So be modest with who you date. They will be less of a headache because they're just happy to be there. So this Casey chick, I knew she wasn't gonna like him. I knew she just wanted Instagram followers because she saw this dude and then she had to be the only one that was like, okay, she agreed to get married to him on Love is Blind. He proposed, she said yes. They can't see each other, they're behind a wall. So the reveal comes when they're finally going to see each other, and you see these. You see just her die in real time, like her eyes just float in the back of her head, and you're like, oh, her pupils are gone. And they walk down the aisle and she's just ready to throw up. And then 20 minutes later, after they're done talking, it's fast forward to like a couple days later and she's got her bags packed. She's like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Because you don't like a just I felt so bad, but I saw this coming from a mile away. And Patrick's just like, it's probably just because I'm fat and I'm Asian and I'm ugly. And I was like, two of those reasons, yes. Two of those reasons. Probably not age. I mean, I like to believe that we exist in a society where we don't care what race someone is, right? Like I don't I've dated Indian women, I've dated black women, I've dated Irish women, I've dated Scottish women, I've dated women with accents, I've dated women that aren't were here illegally, I've dated women that were not here illegal. I don't care, dude. Like culture's rad. We are only better because of the cultures that come from other places. We're only better. And he was fat and ugly though. So, fuck you, Pat. They're doing a good job with this season 8 though. I finished it. Nobody got married. Spoiler alert. There's nobody got married on this show at the very end. It was rad. So much fighting, so much crying. This is what I want to see. This Love is Blind, the reality TV, I just want to watch people explode and make me feel good about my life because I sit at home, I play video games all day, I hang out with my cats. I just got Broody spayed, so I've been following her around and sleeping on the floor with her for the last couple nights. Speaking of, I need to give her pain meds after this. She was spayed on Friday. It's Tuesday now. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So today's day 5 and she's on recovery. I feel really bad because it's taken me a long time to spay her because like I don't want to cry. I'm not a crier. I cry once a year. I don't want to use it on my cat. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to use it on something that hasn't happened to my cat yet. She's fine. Everything's fine. But if something were to happen to her, and it's not fair because Walter's neutering surgery was just like a little, just snip, and then he's done. Like Broody had to have her whole guts taken out, and it's so horrible. And I'm just trying to give her the most love and attention because I have all the sympathy in the world for that to happen. And fellas, if you get someone pregnant and they have to, you know what I mean? They get whatever they want for 9 months because that just watching a cat go through that is shitty. I can't imagine um I can't imagine anything happening to my cats, and that's why it took me so long to take her because she's my daughter. She's the daughter that I get to have. So I want to make sure that I act like the dad that she deserves. Having pets now is different than having pets when we were kids. When we were kids, there's get that fucking dog. You know what I mean? Like just your parents, the way they treated the animals. Nowadays, dude, they're kids. We spoil them. They're so different. There's so much more care and appreciation and even like acknowledgement to like a higher being and purpose for these animals now. And it makes me so fucking happy that like we're all here. Sorry, I had to snort again. But yeah, this dude, Love is Blind now. Reality shows, I want to watch you cry. I want your makeup to run. I watched Love is. Here's why I watched Love is Blind. Because in one of the seasons, this guy who wore like an American flag everywhere he went, he met the girl on the at the altar. They finally got the reveal where he saw her, and he's like, "You wear too much makeup." Dude, she cried. She cried the whole time. They made it to Mexico, and he's like, "You're still wearing a lot of makeup." Oh, I just want to watch people be fucking miserable in these TV shows. Not in real life, in the show. The show opens a lot of opportunities. It opens a lot of doors for these people. So I don't give a fuck what happens to them in their fake relationships. Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it. You know what I mean? I love trash TV. I think we should blow up fucking Israel and Gaza. Just fucking blow them all up. Go see Scream 7. Who gives a shit what people on the internet say? They're dorks. You're affecting other people other than the rich CEOs that you're trying to affect. I don't know. Vote. If you want rich people to feel the outcome of your rage, vote. Vote because your taxes are going to them because they're paying. I read somewhere that Jeff Bezos pays less taxes under the Trump administration than like a teacher. Vote. You got to vote because you're keeping these people rich. You can't just be like, I don't like this movie. I'm not gonna go see it. Vote because you're affecting people on set that worked on that film that have to work on future films. They probably want you to go see their art. I'm not gonna go see it because that shit's gay as fuck. But go watch Scream. All right. Don't call people slurs. It's stupid. Say a slur out of context. I support that. You're skating, you're hitting that Casper slide, and you're like, motherfucker, and then you hit your nuts on the pole. Call the pole a wop. Yeah, you fucking wop pole. I don't care. I don't care. Just spread the slurs out. Don't just say the N one. Say all the white ones. You could do that. I don't know. I love you guys. Please take care of yourselves. Kisses, hugs, belly rubs.